Terrific defender for Newcastle United over almost 350 games, Republic of Ireland international, and is currently BBC Radio Newcastle match summariser. So John Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. John, terrific game today. I mean, once upon a time, in the bad old days of Ashley and Bruce and beyond that, Newcastle v Fulham was who can get. It's a 6-pointer, who can get the points, because we're at the wrong end of the table. Incredibly, only a year on from Newcastle being down the bottom, this is a top 6 match between 3rd top Newcastle and 6th top Fulham. And while we are the surprise team, I think, of the Premier League this season, Fulham are a bit of a surprise as well, and they're 2 informed sides, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's amazing the way the league has gone this season when you look at where teams are. You know, Brighton, brilliant again yesterday. Fulham, we went down there early in the season and battled them, John, to be quite honest. You know, it could have been an awful lot more, but today is a different situation. And the last time we were in here when we played Leeds, got a little bit carried away. I said we'd win 4-0.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what you're talking about. You said we'd win fucking 3-0. So.
But I was closer.
Yeah. But neither of us got it right. So, but it was it was one of those games where we had plenty of chances. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. And I think that's been a problem for us. You know, we're creating plenty of chances, even against Leicester.
Yeah.
Even though we beat them 2-0, there was a comfortable win in the end. The game should have been over at half time. You know, we could have been 3 or 4 up at half time. But today, different one. You would think Mitrovic would be fit. By Pierre in midfield didn't play down there when we beat them down there. He's a good player.
Yeah.
They press high as well. You know, similar to what we do. So it's an interesting game, but be disappointed if we didn't win. I'm not going to give a score prediction, but I'd be disappointed if we didn't win.
Yeah. I mean, it is intriguing, and because they've gone on a winning run, a big winning run, and have just beaten Chelsea, which is their huge job. It's a Newcastle Sunderland, the back-to-back pillars, aren't they, in London. So that's terrific. Mitrovic's back. But we've got to think of us. We've lost 1-18 in the Premier League. We're in the semi-final of the League Cup with a tremendous draw. I mean, Southampton, we couldn't have wished for any better. Nottingham Forest would have been about the same. Man City's out of the thing. So, you know, we're in a very, very healthy situation. But at the same time, it's relentless in the top 4, as it was relentless in the bottom 4. I mean, you know, we've got to really win today, because last 2 league games were not draws. So we've taken 2 points out the last 6. That means we've got to return to winning ways today if we're going to stay in top 4 competition. Are you pretty confident that despite the form of Fulham, is a real opportunity today, should happen?
Yeah, definitely. Look, the last 2 games, you know, the last 2 league games, I think if you had asked anybody in here, they most definitely would have taken a point away at Arsenal, you know, the way Arsenal had done.
Brilliant.
So, up here against Leeds, as I said earlier, we had chance after chance, just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. And you get games like that, John, where it just doesn't fall for you, you know. It wasn't as if we played poorly. You know, we played well. It wasn't a poor performance. And I think sometimes you've got to give the opposition credit as well, because Leeds didn't play out from the back. You know, they went wrong all the time, so we couldn't get a high press on them and squeeze them in. Second half, we did it a bit better. So I think sometimes you've got to give the opposition credit as well. But we had chances to win that game, we just didn't take them. And as I said, I'd be disappointed if we didn't beat Fulham today, especially after what we did to them down there and having watched them down there. I think you can get at them. Yes, they're having a good season, but I just think we're on fire at the minute, you know. And you take a huge amount of confidence from the Leicester game as well. We were magnificent against Leicester. You know, there wasn't a player on the pitch who you say didn't put a shift in, didn't do it a bit. Each and every one of them were brilliant on the night. And if you show that type of form again today, there's no reason in the world. You would definitely, you win comfortably as well.
I mean, the interesting thing, and you won't say thanks very much, Gibbo, for mentioning this, but we've got to do better than the Newcastle United of your team on your debut for Newcastle United, which was up here. It was against Fulham. It was against Malcolm McDonald's Fulham as it happened. He was the manager, wasn't he? And as he never stops telling me, and I'm pissed off with it quite frankly, but he never stops telling me, the 1-4-1. But I think KK scored for us. Did he miss a penalty as well?
You've obviously been doing your homework, haven't you? Home debut. Ray Houghton scored a couple, I think. Beat us 4-1. They were a good side, that Fulham side. You know, Malcolm had a good side there. I think Kevin missed a penalty as well, but we were well beaten on the day. But I'd forgotten all about it. It's very kind of you to remind us about it, John. But yeah, look, I don't see the same thing happening today. You know, I don't think. As I said earlier, I just think the confidence with which we're playing, the momentum that we've got. I just think we're going to have too much for them. I think we're bigger and stronger than them as well. You know, I think we've got a physical presence in there. You look at this Newcastle side, and a lot of 6 foot plus in there, big boys, you know, muscular lads, put themselves about. You know, Joe Linton, he's probably the most physical Brazilian I've ever seen. I've never seen a Brazilian that's as physical as he is. You know, Botman's come in, big unit, strong, quick. Got a lot of pace in there as well. We're a good side, you know. That's the thing about it. We're a good side, and I just think we'll have too much for this today, as I said.
I mean, the interesting thing, Mitrovic back, he hasn't scored against us. I mean, that may be tempting fate to say because he scores a lot of goals for Fulham. He's back. We look at the Newcastle side, and under the normal circumstances, I would expect them to be unchanged because they've to beat Leicester comprehensively, and it was the side that got a terrific draw at Arsenal. There has been some talk about Joe Linton with his drink driving situation. We're waiting to find out what happens there. My personal belief is that Joe Linton will play. And the reason I say that is because you can't make a rod for your own back. If he doesn't play today, does he not play at Southampton in the first leg because 2 days later he's in court? Does he then not play in the Southampton return game because he's been convicted? If he has been convicted, and when the police bring a charge, normally conviction automatically follows. So you almost make a rod, if you don't play him today, you almost make a rod for yourself, and how do you bring him back in the 2 semi-final ties? So, I mean, my feeling, and Eddie Howe does amazing things. He produces surprise after surprise after surprise, whether it's a bench or whether it's a team. And for me, the only time Eddie got it wrong is allowed once in the whole season was at Sheffield Wednesday when 8 changes were too many. 4 might be fine, 8 was too many. We'll wait and see what team he puts out today. My personal feeling is that he plays Joe Linton, Newcastle win, and the thing is forgotten about in terms of NUFC. Your feeling on team selection, Andrew?
I think it's an interesting one. I really do. It'd be interesting to see what way Eddie Howe goes about it. You know, will he play Joe Linton? I don't know. You know, I think look at what he did was silly, but he's been done. He got breathalyzed. He's been charged. Should that affect his football? No. But will Eddie Howe look at it and think he's broke club rules? He needs to be disciplined as well. You know, and he's a little bit of a disciplinarian, Eddie Howe, as well. You know, he sets standards. He wants standards to be kept. If he feels that Joe Linton's dropped below them standards, maybe he may leave him out. I don't know. But from a totally footballing point of view, if you're picking a side, Joe Linton's in it. It's as simple as that. You know, from a footballing point of view. But there's other aspects to look at here as well, John. So we're just going to have to wait and see when the team's announced it on the clock.
I mean, from my point of view, looking at perfection, I would love to see Callum Wilson score today. Because we know the quality he is, we know we need a centre forward presence. And for me, since he came back after his illness and he was out of the side and the World Cup was over, he's looked a little bit jaded. He's looked in need of a goal, and this would be a lovely time for him to come along and score a goal, because like every second goal, you live and breathe goals. You're judged by goals, you judge yourself by goals. I think it would be to Newcastle's advantage and his advantage if in a week today Callum Wilson could notch.
Look, for all the chances that we've had in recent games, he hasn't had any. You know, the ball hasn't fallen to him in areas where you think, and you can't accuse him of missing chances because he hasn't had any to go and miss. I think he's looking a little bit leggy, he's looking a little bit tired. Would he be tempted to bring Isak in? Or if he leaves Joe Linton out, does he play Isak on that left side? Play Callum Wilson through the middle? I don't know, but look, Wilson's a good player. You don't become a bad player overnight. His movement's excellent. His all-round game's great, you know. And if he gets a chance, 9 times out of 10 he puts the ball in the back of the net. And he hasn't had any chances, John. That's been the problem. You know, all the chances are falling to other people. But as I say, he doesn't become a bad player overnight. Always liked him. Always thought he gives centre backs a rough time. He works the channels well. He's prepared to play between the full-back and centre-backs. He's just a good player. And goals will come from him, there's no doubt about that.
I mean, we've got to remember, it's just a matter of weeks ago when he was considered good enough to be in the England squad for the World Cup. And that is how good he is. There's no question about that. And I mean, if ever I sort of doubt that situation, I revert to my original thinking every time I see Chris Wood, bless him, because he couldn't crack the back of cement. I mean, this fella's a proper centre forward. Isak, I don't think there's 90 minutes in him yet, John. He can come on as a sub and do well. He can start and come off as he did in the club. But he's not quite, after a long layoff, he's not quite ready for 90 minutes. He could possibly play wide if Joe Linton didn't. He could, I don't think for 1 second, for this particular game, he would leave Wilson out and start with Isak. I don't think there's much chance of that. But we need to get him back. And it's good to look at the bench and say your first 2 offensive players on the bench is Isak and Saint-Maximin.
Yeah, all of a sudden the bench is starting to look an awful lot stronger. You know, it's good. It's a good problem for Eddie Howe to have. All of a sudden he's got Isak back. I thought 45 minutes that he played at Sheffield Wednesday. Thought his movement was excellent, looked sharp. Probably should have scored with the header that he had. But you put that down to a little bit of rustiness. And I thought he did well when he came on against Leicester as well. You know, he's got a bit of pace about him. His movement is good. They're just trying to ease him back in. I'm with you. He probably hasn't got 90 minutes in him. They don't want to rush him back. They want to look after him because of the length of time that he's been out. But you know, he's looked sharp in 2 games, and that he's figured in the cup game and the Leicester game as well. So whether he starts today, I don't know. But it's a nice option for Eddie Howe to know that he has him on the bench along with Saint-Maximin.
He's a £60 million player. Newcastle haven't got many things wrong in the transfer market since the new regime and Eddie coming. And he's £60 million, so we know pretty well he's a good player. But we've only got to remember Liverpool for confirmation about how good he is. Forecast today, I'm not going to go down the road about the score after Leeds, when both of us got absolutely carried away. The result today, I think it will be closer than is very comfortable, you know, as going 3 up in the first half an hour at Leicester. I think it'll be tighter than that, but I'm quite confident Newcastle will win. Your feeling, John?
As I said earlier, John, I think we'll win. You know, I think we've had chances early on in games, like that Leicester game the other night. If Sean Longstaff scores after a minute, you know, you win the game and you win it in the canter, you win comfortably. And I just think that we score early today. If one of those chances breaks and all of a sudden ends up in the back of the net, I think we win comfortably again. But either way, I don't see us not winning the football match. I just think with the confidence and the belief that we're playing with at this moment in time, that we're going to have too much for Fulham. So, no prediction, but I expect us to win, and win well.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is us for today. Let us enjoy the fact that last season we were talking about the bottom three, now we're talking about the top three, and we're talking about going to Wembley, and that for me, and I'm sure for every one of you, is not only a realistic possibility, but it's absolutely bloody fabulous. So let's march on, 3 points today, and let's get to Wembley and show Wembley what they've been missing without us there. God bless you. We'll see you again next Sunday. Thank you so much. Thank you.